I can see it clearly now. Nothing gonna bring me down. I got my head held high. I'm on my way, and I'm following the signs to my happy place. I'm walking in the light of a brand new day, and I'm right where I belong in my happy place.
Good evening and welcome to the Coon Rapids City Council meeting for Tuesday, August 20th, 2024. If you could please rise and join us for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Kraskowiak.
Here.
Councilmember Ray Rauer.
Here.
Councilmember Novak.
Here.
Councilmember Geisler.
Here.
Councilmember Armstrong. Councilmember Carlson. Mayor Cook.
Here.
2 absent, Armstrong and Carlson.
Thank you. All right, well, why don't we adopt this evening's agenda to get us off started? Your
So
Honor?
moved.
That was fast. Motion, we'll call that a second, Novak.
Sounds
Motion
good.
by Geisler, seconded by Novak to adopt the agenda. Any corrections? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And the agenda is adopted. We're looking at approving the minutes from the August 5th, 2024 meeting.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember
make a
Kraskowiak?
motion to approve the minutes of August 5th, 2024.
It's going to have to be you, Jenny.
Okay. Second, with one minor correction that we've already talked to the clerk about. It's a
Bags tournament.
A bags tournament, not a golf tournament at Sand Creek.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Now, So we have a quorum, so so three of us can approve it then, with two abstentions then, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, all right, just kind of running that through in my head here. Okay, is there any discussion or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries, two abstentions, Rayrower and Novak. Okay, we have only three items on our consent agenda this evening. Okay, the first is to approve a therapeutic massage enterprise license for Massage by Rachel Ann LLC, 12685 Riverdale Boulevard. Ms. Turner has submitted an application for massage enterprise licensing, paid the background investigation and license fee, provided proof of the required liability insurance, and submitted proper educational documentation. Approval is contingent upon a successful background investigation and the issuance of a certificate of occupancy by the Building Inspections Department. So we're looking to approve the issuance of a therapeutic massage enterprise license to Massage by Rachel Ann LLC, located at 12685 Riverdale Boulevard Northwest, pending a successful background investigation and the issuance of a certificate of occupancy by the Building Inspections Department. Next item on our consent agenda is to adopt Resolution 24-77, setting a hearing date for miscellaneous 2024-2 levies. The city council must set a public hearing as required by state statutes, and at that hearing, the city council may refer appellants to the Board of Adjustment and Appeals. The Board of Adjustment and Appeals will then give their recommendation for council consideration. The Board of Adjustment and Appeals is expected to conduct this hearing on October 3rd and make a recommendation to the city council at their October 15th meeting. Staff will incorporate the process in the required mailing to the property owner. These assessments include services provided to taxpayers, in most cases involving code enforcement violations. The terms of repayment are determined by the amount being assessed, and the proposed assessments are categorized by the number of years to be assessed and the interest rate recommended. So we're looking to adopt Resolution 24-77, miscellaneous assessment, declaring the cost to be assessed, ordering preparation of the proposed assessment roll, and ordering the public hearing for September 3rd, 2024 on the proposed assessment roll. The next item and the final item on our consent agenda is to approve final payments, Group 3, for Project 21-65, Fire Station Number 3. A summary of contractors and final payments amount for Project 21-65, Fire Station Number 3, are outlined on the attached spreadsheet. Net change orders totaled $184,026.57 for soil corrections, irrigation revisions, infiltration basins, new conduit, and roofing changes. All of the dates and amounts are reasonable and accurate to the project file. No liquidated damages are recommended. Staff recommends approval of the change orders and final payments to the contractors listed on the attached spreadsheet. That's the full consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Rayrower,
I motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
motion by Rayrower and a second by Novak. Is there any discussion or questions about the consent agenda?
Mr. Mayor, I could just get
Councilmember Griscoviac?
clarification on the payment for Project 2165. It looks like the project was awarded in 2021, but then the work didn't get completed until June 2023. Am I reading that correctly?
Mr. Stemwell?
Mayor, Council, this is with regard to the fire station project, so yes,
Yep.
it's very likely that we started that project in 2021, but there's still work continuing into even this year.
Right.
So, yes, that's very likely.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion on the consent agenda? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, and the consent agenda is approved. We're up to item 5. Consider a budget amendment and resolution number 24-18 sub 9, awarding a contract for the East Water Treatment Plant generator improvements. And are you the Public Works Director tonight, too?
Yeah, default mayor and council, I suppose that I am. So I can hit a couple highlights here. Mr. Himmer, who's on vacation this week, explained this a little bit at last week's work session. But we are looking to award a contract to Phaser Electric for the replacement of a generator at our East Water Treatment Plant. Currently, we have a 60-watt emergency generator there. We're looking to upgrade that to a 130 kilowatt emergency generator that will fully electrify the building and allow for some water production there when it's expanded, because it will also work with well 21. And then we'd like to add a separate generator for the east booster in well 8 that'll also allow us to keep water production going. Currently, the 60 kilowatt generator only will allow a portion of the building to work, and it's just more some of the lighting and minor systems at that site. So this upgrade would really allow for a much better emergency situation to keep water production going. The big issue with this was simply that it came in significantly over what was budgeted a year ago about this time when we were looking at our emergency generator program. We've been going through a systematic program over the last year to look at all of our various generators and decide which ones need to be replaced. These were two that were thought to be, the one, I should say, kind of critical in terms of replacement, and the additional one simply to allow us for better production under those circumstances, should we lose power. So we had 3 bids. Phaser came in at $690,700. We are recommending that council approve that agreement and then also adopt the budget amendment. This will all be included in the water fund, which has sufficient capital to pay for this project.
Okay, very good. Any questions for Public Works? I mean,
Yeah, Tim does a better job, I should say.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Geisler?
I will make a motion to approve Resolution 24-78, amending the Water Utility Fund, and adopt Resolution 24-18, Sub 9, awarding a contract to Phaser Electric Company for East Water Treatment Plant generator improvements in the amount of $690,700.
Second.
Motion by Geisler and a second by Novak. Is there discussion on this?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Griscoviac?
just because it is considerably over what we anticipated, we don't have to have a lot of discussion tonight, but just want everyone to know that we talked about this with our Public Works, with our departments in a work session just last week. And the big thing with this is we really need to have a backup generator at the East Water Treatment Plant for the well that's right there on site. So without emergency generator, we really we're not pumping water out of the ground into the east reservoirs over there. And so this makes sense to make this investment today, or now.
Mr. Mayor, I concur with Councilmember Griscoviac. It's, as our teams do a great job looking at redundancies in our systems and making sure that, we can provide those core services for our citizens. And right now, there's a slight risk with that East Water Treatment Plant that, if there's a major failure, we can keep some of the things on, but can we effectively pump all of the water that our city would need? And if there was something else, a fire, that, the city becomes at risk. So the right thing to do is to make sure that we've got that ability to keep water flowing in our city.
I think back to that storm we had in September of '05. Riverview was out without electricity for over a week, so I think
And
it's,
Mayor and Council, that's a good point, because it's not to say we couldn't deliver water if power went out in the short run, store a lot of water, so that's what water towers are for. However,
Yep.
if you had a prolonged outage, this
Yep.
is really where the benefit would come in. And
Yep.
it's possible it's happened. So.
Yeah.
Your Honor,
Councilmember Novak?
a lot of my constituents are coming to me talking about how much money council is spending over the last couple of years and how expensive things are getting. But in this one, yeah, it came in over bid, and that is not something that we want to have happen all the time, but things are getting more expensive. And we were taking these bids last year, if I'm not mistaken, is when we had this budgeted.
Mayor and Councilmember Novak, this was in the 2024 budget. We estimated it about this time last year
Right.
for this project. So, why exactly it was that amount under, I guess, is a little bit unknown to me at this time, other than we do know that we got 3 bids. They're all fairly closely grouped together. So we feel good about the competitiveness. It's just I know there's a lot of challenge still with generators in terms of supply chain and demand. We learned that lesson as part of our Fire Station 3 project that we just talked about, especially as it relates to transfer switches, which is a really major component. There's long lead time and they're becoming very expensive. So I think it's just that, a year and a half later after the planning was done for it, that was a big part of it.
Yeah. And I just want to be very clear that city council is very much aware of the amount of money that we're spending, and we don't do it frivolously. This one is something that we do very much need, and unfortunately, it's just more expensive than we thought it would be because of inflation.
Okay, any other discussion? We have a motion and a second on this. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. And we're on item 6, to consider contracts for the soccer complex field lighting installation and electrical control cabinet replacement. Mr. Stemmel, are you taking this one too then?
Sure,
or-
Mayor and Council, as Council is aware, we're under process to upgrade the lighting at the Coon Rapids Soccer Complex. Several months ago, Council was asked to approve basically the equipment purchase portion of that because there are long lead times for many of those components. We wanted to get that done, and per the advice of a consultant we've been working with, thought it was better to sort of separate some of the packages related to this project anyway. So that has been approved by council. Those orders have been made. This next 2 contracts really relate to the installation. We went out to bid on these recently here. We had 3 bids. Kilmer Electric came in as a low bid at $109,800. There was a separate package put together for the actual electrical cabinet. And that we are recommending to award to Muska Electric in the amount of $110,000. Again, given some of the lead times on things like the cabinet, we want to order that as soon as we can. But then these 2 contracts, in addition to the equipment purchase that we've made here this summer, will be the end of the contracts we need to award. Work would begin on this late this year into 2025, and we expect it will be done next year. And that's it. If there are any questions, I'll
Very good.
attempt to do that.
Any questions for Mr. Stemmel on this? I think this was on our last workshop. I think this was the
Yeah,
other one
Mr.
we talked
Himmer
about.
also discussed this one as well. The good news with this, I should mention, is overall the project is coming in under budget or what we expected. So that is some good news.
Nice.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Rayrower?
I make a motion to award a contract to Kilmer Electric Company Incorporated for soccer complex field lighting installation in the amount of $109,800 and authorize staff to execute a letter of engagement with Muska Electric Company not to exceed $110,000 for electrical control cabinet replacement.
Second.
Motion by Rayrower and a second by Geisler. Is there any further discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. And zippity-doo-dah, we are right up to open mic. Is anybody here to address council for open mic this evening? Yes, sir. Come on up to the microphone over there. And open mic provides an opportunity for the public to address the city council on subjects that are not part of the regular meeting agenda. The public is invited to express any concerns they may have which are relevant to the affairs, policies, or practices of the city of Coon Rapids. Remarks will be limited to 3 minutes. Please approach the podium, you're already there, and state your name and address before addressing the council. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Honorable Council. My name is Doug Sturgill, Sturgill, and I live at 11617 Wren Street Northwest. I'm just around the corner from the Coon Rapids High School. I think I'm in Ward 1. I think Brad, I'm in your ward.
Yep.
So, on the night of July the 11th or 12th, it's on a Saturday night, we had a really bad storm in our neighborhood, and one tree in my front yard was blown over. It was blocking part of my driveway. I was out of town. It was on a Saturday night, and I was out of town, and I couldn't get up in my driveway without driving on the next door neighbor's yard. And my next door neighbor is a pretty good dude, but I wouldn't want to drive over his lawn, repeatedly. So, a couple of days later, three young men came and knocked on my door, and they wanted to remove the tree. And I'm sure you've all had the experience after a hailstorm. You got people that are knocking on your door, wanting to put a roof on your house, and well, that happens to you if you have a tree, uprooted. So I got a couple of other estimates. One was $1,000, and one was $595. But the three young men that came and wanted to do it, they did it for $350. Now, I want a discussion here on the city's responsibility to remove and pay for the removal of a boulevard tree. My tree was about 4 feet from the curb, from the road, from the street, from Rin Street. So I paid for it because I wanted to get my driveway clear, and also the tree was up against the mailboxes, and you got the post office complaining about that if you don't clear that, so I paid for it. Now, how do I go about getting reimbursed?
Okay. So is there anything else? Because what's going to happen is staff is going to address this and will respond to you with a letter. We don't do a question and answer thing.
Yeah, okay.
But as long as they've got your name and address, they'll let you know if there's anything we can do.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Sturgill, if you could maybe leave your name and a phone number we can reach you at, and then we'll follow up.
Yeah. Is there anybody else to address council for open mic this evening? Okay, please come up to the microphone.
Is it okay if I hand something out?
Sure.
Okay. Thought about this as how we do it for business meetings, so.
Ooh,
Okay.
fancy.
And I know I don't have much time, so I'm gonna be quick and to the point.
Yep, you'll have 3 minutes once you start. How's that?
Thank you.
Sounds good. This is my first time doing this, so.
Yep, nope, and that's fine. And tonight, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna present us, and then,
So,
sorry.
bottom line, and I've handed out the.
Oh, I'm sorry, name and
information-
address.
Oh, sorry. My name is Susan Stein, and I live at 12185 Lily Street Northwest. I believe I'm also in Brad's ward. So my husband and I bought our house in 2019. We love the area, love the home, love the neighborhood. We have a discrepancy with some compliance issues with how city officials are handling a fence and wall ordinance. Per what the ordinance and city code states are the compliance requirements for fencing, and what our neighbor is being told is acceptable does not fall within those requirements. So I'm asking for help from the city council to understand. We've asked for additional information from the city officials many times and have not gotten the response with the requested information around the compliance that they're saying that this fence is in compliance to as far as codes and ordinances, because everything I found shows that it's not within compliance. So we have discrepancies in what the residents are being told is compliant versus what the documented procedures are within the city ordinances. So I would just like some help and clarification from the city as to what is and is not acceptable, and have the officials held accountable that are not giving proper information to the residents, and/or adjust and revise the city codes as needed.
Okay,
Any questions?
this is very detailed.
Like I said, I just kind of thought, well,
Well-
I'll approach it like I would a meeting,
Yeah.
so.
We have it, and
Okay.
what's gonna happen is staff will review this, and they'll come back to you, and they'll let us know what's going on as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, and then you're always welcome back. You don't have to bring such fancy stuff, though.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else here to address council for open mic this evening? Anybody else here for open mic? All right, then we will close that portion of the meeting. And we have an open mic response for somebody that was here last month. Mr. Butler appeared at open mic and also shared a letter with the council regarding rental properties that he owns. And The properties are relatively large, single-family homes. They contain as many as 8 bedrooms. They all have valid city rental licenses. But the thing was, he would like to do more than 6 individuals, and the city does not allow more than 6 unrelated individuals in a home. And so we've let him know that, and I think that's where we're at with that. All right, and we are at other business.
Mr. Mayor?
Councilmember Geisler?
You know, looking at the calendar with the things that are coming up, every Wednesday, at least for the next few Wednesdays into September, we have our farmers market at the Ice Arena. So that's right by Boulevard Park, Coon Rapids Boulevard. And that is Wednesdays from 3 to 6. So great thing to take and look at. And then otherwise, I know that the photo contest is being run by our Arts Commission. So if you have great pictures of the city that you want to share and put those in, check out the website. And then probably the only next thing before our next meeting is it's kind of be coming up on Labor Day, and offices are closed on Labor Day. It's crazy to think that we're towards the end of the summer already, so. Those are the big things that I saw.
All right. I was trying to find the, there we go. So a couple of quick things. Coming up next Tuesday, August 27th, is the Coon Rapids Business Council meeting at 7:30 in the morning up at Kendall's. And then oh boy, where's the date on it? The Rhythm of the Rapids is coming up down at Anoka Ramsey Community College on, I think it's Thursday, September 12th. All I can get is just the title. I can't find the information. But it's GB Layton playing down on the riverbank, and it's just $10 a ticket. They're gonna have food trucks, and it should be a real nice evening, so. And if you just do an internet search for Rhythm of the Rapids, you should come up with it for Anoka Ramsey Community College.
September 12th.
September 12th, there it is. Okay,
So at least
Yes?
one more meeting between now and then, so we'll remind them.
yep, but they'd like to sell some tickets early, though, so.
That's true, okay.
All right, any other business to come before council?
Move to adjourn?
Second?
Motion by Ray Rower, second by Novak to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. We're adjourned.